All right. This is spoilers for Mission: Impossible M Dash: The Final Reckoning. If you have seen the movie and you want to hear a bunch of spoilers, listen on. If you haven't seen the movie, you don't want to hear spoilers, you should probably have not clicked this video, or you should hit pause on your podcast app of choice, because we're going to spoil the movie for you right now. Where do you guys want to start with this? You want me to just start with James, my biggest gripe?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, please.
Ethan Hunt doesn't die.
And why was that necessary?
Why'd you want him
for this
to die?
movie to be good?
Why was it necessary for Iron Man to die in the movie?
What's that to do with Iron Man?
I'm saying, like,
why does he have to die?
If it's the end of a story, let's end the story.
Why does he have to die to end the story?
Can't he achieve the impossible mission, and also we get an emotional moment from his friends / coworkers?
But why can't? Why do you
other
need
than
that?
Ving
Luther died.
Rhames, other than Ving Rhames' character dying,
that wasn't enough for you?
It just makes it yet another entry in the Mission Impossible. He's had team members die in the past. It's not like a crazy thing. The only difference between this movie and some of the other ones is that they split it in two and stretched it out. Other than that, it's the same old Mission Impossible formula.
But why does he have to die?
Yeah, I don't understand why he needs to die, just because it's the final movie.
I'm not saying he has to. I'm saying it would have made the movie better if something out of the ordinary had happened in the movie. When you're billing
in the movie,
when you're
or
billing
at the end of the
it
movie?
as the final reckoning, who is it the final reckoning for? The character they just introduced last entry? Who is? What's the final reckoning happening here? Can somebody explain that to me?
Yes. It's between the entity and the world.
Another thing that we were just introduced to in the last movie.
It's been around since Mission Impossible 3, James.
Sure it has.
Apparently.
Sure it has.
No, I mean, if I have a big gripe, it's this movie, and I said this before, felt self-important and self-serious. And I don't think the movie lived up to that aspect of it. Right, because it is called The Final Reckoning. And if I was to look at it like, oh, does this feel like the final movie? I'm not sure. I can see James's point on that. Did it bother me? Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, like I didn't necessarily need people to die. I didn't, like Issei Gabriel, because he was introduced as the big bad guy anyway, I was like, okay, well, if we're not bringing back like John Voight or something like that. Mm-hmm. So, like I was like, okay, fine. This guy's supposed to be a big bad guy, but I don't feel he's connected to the series. We're putting this stuff in here to make it feel like it's all like this huge culmination of the story. That all kind of, I think those are all my biggest issues I had with this movie.
Sure.
But as like a enjoyable Mission Impossible movie, this one hit for me. So yeah, maybe you and I, James, saw the same thing and you just wanted more of that gravitas, that finality.
James, can I ask a question? Let's say it was the exact same movie. Mm-hmm. Okay. You're watching your 3.5-star movie, and then in the last like 10 minutes, Ethan Hunt died. What would your rating be then?
That's not the movie I saw, so it's hard to say. I'd have to like actually see that play out, but it would. Yeah, I would feel better about the movie.
Okay. He needs, for whatever reason, he's on the biplane. Gabriel's dispatched of, and the only way he can win is by crashing the biplane, ending his life. But that'll save the world. Is that what you wanted?
Spoilers for No Time to Die. And that's all. That's all I will say. Spoilers for No Time to Die.
I knew you were going to bring up No Time to Die. Like I even before when you said I want the finality, I'm like, we're going the James Bond route on this one. I knew this is where we're going.
That's a movie that like chose,
which was not a great movie.
It's a movie that I respect the way the story was told, though. It was advertised as a finale, and it finaled. This one did the same old in the end. Not only did it do the same old, it stretched the same old out nearly 6 hours.
The
The story that they
movie
used
is
to
not
tell
s-
in 2 is now 6.
I think you're really grading these movies together.
You are.
And I think
And you
that's
shouldn't.
unfair to this movie.
Separate movie.
This movie has similar problems to what I had in the first movie.
Sure.
The first half. It's not as bad, which is why I ranked it higher. But I was hoping for a series correction, if not a series finale that was worthy of some of the movies that in the series that comes before it. And instead, I got a slightly better version than the worst movie in an 8-movie series.
Right now, James is making the face that says, "So sue me."
Yeah, I mean that's how I feel about it. And not only that, but like we got a really long version of that movie for no reason whatsoever.
It never felt long to me.
I
was like,
it
this
felt
movie did
so
not feel long to me.
Because enough was happening.
It felt
We
like
had-
an extension of the first one, which was already long, and then this one was long.
Yeah, I realize that you think of this as one 6-hour movie, James.
It's a part 1 and a part 2. It's not crazy for me to think that.
No, but like you're very focused on thinking that. I think of this as a 3-hour movie and the other one as a terrible, whatever it was, 2.5-hour movie. I consider them separate from each other because I saw them years apart and one is very much more enjoyable than the other to me. This one had the Iditarod in it, James. Come on.
I was
You know-
fine with that too, because at least we got a little bit of characterization out of that.
And I really like the returning guy, the NSA guy with the beard now.
Yeah.
The analyst from the first movie.
Yeah.
Yes. So that was a callback that I thought was great because like he's such a minor character in the first movie.
Mhm.
Exactly.
But like the fact that you're like, oh yeah, of course, this guy, his program got hacked, so he got shipped off to Alaska, like which is such a cliche. Like you got screwed up and you're going to the worst outpost.
Mm-hmm. But he's happy about it the course of his life. I love
He
it.
loves it there, and he still has the knife. That was cool.
Yeah, I like that way better than having John Voight show up or something like that.
Or the son of John Voight, which was so stupid.
Who was the
That-
son of John Voight?
Shea Wiggum.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah,
right.
They're like, I know your name. It's really
Yeah,
Phelps. He's like, that's
that
why
was
I
pretty
hate
dumb.
you.
That guy has the most punchable face I can imagine.
Shea Wiggum.
Yes.
So he's in the Fast and Furious franchise. He's like Brian O'Connor's handler.
Yeah.
And the joke is that he gets constantly punched in the Fast and Furious franchise. Like he always has a bandage across his nose. So
That's funny.
See, whenever I see him, I just think Boardwalk Empire, which
okay.
it was like 5 seasons of him as a specific character. So I only think of
Was he
him in that.
punchable in Boardwalk Empire?
He was definitely not a good
Or
guy
smarmy?
in that
Okay.
in that show.
I really disliked. I don't know why he was in this movie because he didn't do anything. I disliked they're in like the Doomsday Cave or whatever, and they Gabriel think he's got them, and then out of nowhere behind him in this cave, Shea Wiggum just pops up. It's like, how do you seek out someone in a cave?
Very
Were you
difficult.
waiting
It's
there
tr-
the whole time?
it is tricky to do that.
that was dumb. So yeah, pretty much. I don't think it's Shea Wiggum as an actor, but I don't know why his character was in this movie. Same for his partner, the other new guy,
Yeah.
who literally says at one point like, "There's nothing for me to do."
I
Like
like how he's like, one of you tell me why this is important.
Yeah.
Okay. What of all the things that had to be accomplished in this movie, what do you think you would have been the worst at? Which you would you have failed the most at? I think for me, it would have been in navigating the submarine. Like once I was inside, I don't feel like I would know where to go or what to do.
Okay.
I would just get lost very quickly in the submarine filling with water.
Yeah, I think just being in the cold water, maybe swimming out of the submarine. Like I think I could do okay in the submarine, but to like rise to sea level with holding my breath in cold water, I think I'd drown during that portion.
Would you have thought of going in the torpedo bay?
Probably not. That was a genius idea.
He got undressed quite a bit in this movie.
He wanted to show. Oh, that's right. When he was about to be tortured with Haley Atwell.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was also naked. I'm really glad that she was never quite like a love interest. There was a
Agreed.
couple times they looked at each other. I was like, please do not do that. I don't know if it was an attraction or if it was like a game respects game aspect of it, but it seemed to be they left whatever like love interest on the table.
I'm
I'm
glad.
okay with that.
I didn't want the emotional stakes.
No, because Michelle Monaghan, that's his true love in life.
Mhm.
It is, yes.
Even though they've removed her from all these stories for some reason.
Well, she died, James. That's the thing about dying is once they
No,
die.
no, she's not dead.
She's not dead.
Carrie
Who's the
Russell's
one-
dead.
Okay, who's the one that
He's
like?
not dating her to protect her. That's where we left.
Oh.
That's where we left it.
Well,
right?
she would have died had he not saved the world.
She was kidnapped in 3.
Mhm.
She makes a brief appearance in 4.
And she's living her
And
own
then-
life in that movie.
Yeah, and then in Fallout, they end up at the same like World Health Camp that she's at.
Mhm.
Doesn't he have a dream where they're like getting married and then she blows up in a nuclear bomb or something?
That might have been in the Fallout.
Yeah.
5.
That's the one that I did not get a chance to rewatch before this one, so I'm not
Okay.
sure.
You
rewatched
rewatched all the others except for that one?
I rewatched 4, 5, and 7.
Nice.
So Ghost Protocol, Rogue Nation, and then Dead Reckoning Part 1
Sure.
with Galen. So yeah, we took Galen to go see this one,
Nice.
and he was
Nice.
he was loving it. He was having the best time.
I-
Every time Tom Cruise runs on screen, Galen does the run in his seat. Like he just gets his little hands
It's
going.
the best run in film history.
It's hilarious. I love it. Yeah.
The man can run.
I'm glad other people enjoyed it. I enjoyed it as well. I just wanted more.
You wanted him to die at the end.
I want them to be more than just stupid action popcorn movies. And if that's where we're at, that's where we're at. I think in the past they've been able to elevate beyond that, but these last 2 are just not it for me.
Yeah. Did you like No Time to Die?
It's not my favorite Bond movie of all
Or
time.
somebody asked.
Nor my favorite of the Daniel Craig series, but
Can I point out a thing that James
Maybe
does?
my
I pointed this
third
out
favorite.
before.
Yeah.
When you ask James a question, his first answer is almost always what he doesn't feel.
sure.
Right.
Like it's like, hey, what did you think of that? I did not think it was this. And then
Sure.
he'll go into what he says.
Hey, do you like pizza? I don't care for chicken.
Yeah.
but- Yeah.
No, I would
James.
never say chicken. I would say it's not my favorite.
yeah, you would say that. Yeah, you would say.
Well, what is my
I'm
favorite
asking
is
you-
this. That's what I would say.
Here's what I'm asking you, and try to keep it succinct and to the point. Did you like No Time to Die?
It wasn't my favorite.
No, that's.
Yes or no?
I didn't ask if it was your favorite. I asked if you liked
I
it.
This
know.
is binary.
And I'm telling you, yeah, I liked it,
Okay, there you
but it wasn't my favorite.
go. Of course not. You could only have one favorite.
Sure.
I don't think we've talked about how cool that submarine scene was.
So cool. And
That-
when he got out and he like the blade almost got him, I was like,
Yes.
I didn't think about the blade.
Right. Or I think about that. I didn't think about like they're in this rotating flooding set. I'm like, yeah, you can plan things out, but like he's in water. Like I'm thinking about Tom Cruise in this case, right? Like
Mhm.
I'm watching this movie thinking, oh yeah, this is Tom Cruise in water with things falling around him. And I did that whole scene, I as both as Ethan Hunt and as Tom Cruise, I was just like slack jawed, mouth open, like, oh my God, this is amazing.
I did really enjoy that he had this magical device that would let him like survive like coming up so fast. When like that's absolutely not possible. But
The
yeah.
special suit.
Yeah. Special suit. The classified gases.
That
And
of,
then he just had to
that of
just had to
course,
get into
yeah.
a-
He stripped off and did the impossible, even with the impossible stakes already there.
No, he had the thing still, didn't he?
No.
he had the mask still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He took off his clothes but kept the mask on.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, because the backpack was too big to fit in the tube.
But I thought the clothes were like a part of the decompression help.
No, that was because it's freezing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Can you put Haley Atwell was in the decompression chamber with him? wouldn't that negatively affect her because she does need to be decompressed? Like she's already at atmosphere.
Also, I don't think you can just go to the surface where you're completely uncompressed and then go into the decompression chamber and you're fine again. Like I think you have to get into it while you're under compression.
Under sea level.
No,
don't you?
You can. I've seen videos of like Navy SEAL deep sea divers, and they come up, and then like they have a team that quickly strips them, and then they run into the chamber.
Okay.
So I think it has to do with like the time it takes for bubbles to form. And so yes, you have a limited amount of time.
Why do they strip them and then throw them in? Why don't they throw them in and let them strip themselves?
I think it's
why waste the time?
It might be to get wet clothes off. I'm not a Navy SEAL diver. I didn't go do a deep dive on this topic. I just saw a video of like, oh wow, they like strip them off again.
I'm annoyed by everything you just said.
I thought it was fitting that the main plot, as far as the bad guys go, centered around AI, and both of these movies felt like it was written by AI. So,
James, doing soft
no, I mean
they
literally felt like he had action sequences in mind, and then they wrote a plot. That would have a reason for him to be on a biplane at the end.
James, that is what the last 5 movies have been.
Yeah, ever since Ghost Protocol, he was like, hey, I want to climb the Burj Khalifa. Let's figure out why.
I'm okay if that's how you're doing it. I'm not okay if in the details of the movie, it feels like that. I didn't feel like that in the other ones. I felt like that in these two.
Well, I felt like that in the last one, but I did not in this one. They're just such different movies.
They're not different movies.
I'm going to defend James here on this one. For the biplane sequence, Gabriel beforehand was like, I don't know, Ethan's like what's your escape plan? He's like, oh, I'm gonna fly away to the safe point. I have a special plane. I'm so prepared. I brought 2. I'm like, oh, okay. Do you wonder why you brought 2, Gabriel?
Oh yeah, no. It was very similar to the helicopter scene. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
In Fallout.
And like him bragging, I brought 2 planes with me. Like, gee.
Can we talk about another dumb thing from the movie? What about when the president? Oh, by the way, we did not mention what's his name from Parks and Rec was a general. And surprise twist, he was a good guy. Nick Offerman was a good guy.
Yes.
You're thinking like, oh, he's going to be a bad guy. Twist, he's a good guy. And he doesn't have a mustache. But the super dumb thing when the president is considering launching the US's nukes.
Right.
And then she's like, maybe we need to sacrifice one of our own cities. What does that accomplish? Yeah, it's goodwill. What does that accomplish?
I think it's, I don't know. It's like, sorry, we got to nuke Paris, Moscow, Tel Aviv, but don't worry, Spokane also take it out.
I mean, you heard why, right, in the movie? Or are you just ignoring
that?
That?
Like a gesture of goodwill to other countries.
Well, it's basically
but what does that even mean?
Well, if we used our nukes to nuke a city in every other country except ours, that wouldn't go over very well. But if we said we had to do one in every country and we also did ourselves, then internationally that would look better.
No, but why would we have to do one in our country?
I don't think we didn't have to.
Right.
Like for the sake of stopping the entity or whatever, they didn't have to. But like James said, it was a mark of goodwill to say, oh, hey, Russia, sorry we had to bomb you to stop the entity from launching your nukes.
But look, we had to bomb ourselves too.
We did it ourselves just to be cool. Like
right. Because they didn't have to, and everyone would have known they didn't have to. So I don't know what it does to do it. Why would Russia care that we bombed Chicago?
I don't remember the details of why we had to bomb specific cities from other countries. Can somebody remind me?
They specifically said it was a goodwill offering, like just no. We're in this too kind of a thing.
Why do we have to bomb Paris? Why?
Because that's where their nuclear command was.
Yeah,
so
their nuclear command.
We had to knock out their nuclear capability before the entity.
So the entity couldn't have launched nukes from those places.
Right. So maybe we were bombing our own nuclear capabilities.
No, that's not why they said they were doing it.
What did they say?
No, there was no whatever. There was no world-saving reason to bomb a U.S. city.
It was just a goodwill thing to like make it feel even for the other countries.
Right.
Hmm.
It's like, sorry, we had to bomb you. We bombed ourselves too. Everyone's cool, right? We all good on this?
I thought there
It
was
also-
I thought there was a reason behind that. Now that you've revealed there isn't, that is really stupid.
Oh, super stupid. Also, it doesn't matter at that point what the other countries think of it because they don't have nukes and we do. So like if they could feel bad about it, that's fine.
Yeah, but stakes, guys. Stakes.
So silly.
Yeah.
But I was glad the president didn't want to press the button. I think that's the right decision.
Right, because in these movies, good people make good decisions, whether it's the
Yeah.
president, whether it's Nick Offerman.
Yeah.
Yeah. This movie is positive is pro-humanity.
Anti-Thetan.
And what?
It was anti-Thetans though.
I said anti-Satan.
No.
Okay. Anti-Thetan.
Yeah.
Thetans as in like the Scientology
Yeah.
belief?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Anything else we need to spoil from Mission: Impossible M- The Final Reckoning? Anybody changing their star rating? I'm sure not. I mean, it got a good rate. It got a good. It's not like a 4.
A
but it's-
shockingly good rating, James.
Shockingly high 3.5 from James.
Look, the people
He
that,
doomed
the
it. He
people,
doomed it.
The people that Tom Cruise surrounded himself with are very competent action filmmakers. I'm a little tired of clearly the Christopher Quarry, Tom Cruise team up. I feel like they're just grinding them out at this point. And I think if somebody, this is just my theory, is that Christopher McQuarrie is a good director who has a cash cow right now. Tom Cruise wants him involved in everything he does. And that's because Christopher McQuarrie will do anything Tom Cruise wants to do. He'll find a way for that thing to happen. And sometimes it works out. Top Gun Maverick, totally worked out. A couple of the other movies a couple of the other Mission Impossible movies that he was involved in worked out. With these last two, it feels like spinning wheels. I'm ready for, if they're going to do more of these, which I bet on my deathbed they will. I don't want Christopher McQuarrie involved. Let's go get a new director. I don't even care if we get another Mission Impossible 2 that everybody hates and it sucks and it's the worst of the series. I just want a new voice telling this story because I'm clearly tired of this formula, especially when stretched out.
I mean, it's at this point, if you want a new voice, you also don't want Tom Cruise because it's been Tom Cruise's voice for the last 5 movies.
Right. And that's why I want death. So that I don't have another Tom Cruise Mission Impossible. We've got 8 of them. We know what they look like. We know what they look like in shades. You know what I mean? Like there is some variation to series here that I appreciate. But this current iteration, I don't need any more of them. I'm done.
Well, you're in luck because they're done.
They're not done. Telling you they're not done.
I would be okay if Tom Cruise was done. Like if they made another one and he made an appearance or was like the director
Sure.
or whatever, that's fine. I am okay if Tom Cruise moves on from this series.
Yeah. I'd rather have another Jack Reacher with Tom Cruise in it. That would at least be something different.
Yeah.
If he has to be in another franchise type thing. There was a time in the mid 90s, early 2000s that like Tom Cruise did daring movies. He's just not doing that anymore. He's only making these
Money,
fairly safe,
fantastic
action
money.
movies. Yeah, and that's I'm not mad at him for it. Go get it if you can, whatever. But it's just getting old for me. Getting old to the tune of 3.5 stars. Very competently boring. For sure.
The competently boring 3.5 stars, James.
All right. Let's finish this. Thanks for listening. We appreciate your listenership and we'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye.